Alright, these are properties of exponents. These are topics from pre-algebra or algebra 1. So this is just a review, old stuff. Alright, the first rule is the zero exponent. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Right? Any non-zero number raised to a 0 power equals 1. In fact, sometimes 0 to the 0 power is 1. It kind of depends on who you ask. Alright. So here I have negative 3x plus 7, that whole thing being raised to the 0 power. So that's equal to 1. So this thing is surrounded by parentheses, and the 0 is outside the parentheses. So that 0, exponent of 0, covers the entire expression. So that's why it's 1. Here, this 0 is on the x, but it is not on the 8. So this becomes 8 times 1 plus 5, or 8 plus 5, making it 13. Okay. Alright, negative exponents. This is kind of an incomplete definition. If you have a negative exponent and he puts in the denominator, right, so and it becomes positive. If you have a negative exponent in the denominator, it goes to the numerator and becomes positive. Okay, so if you have a negative exponent and it's in the numerator of a fraction, it goes to the denominator of a fraction, it becomes positive. If it's in the denominator of a fraction and it's negative, it goes to the numerator, it becomes positive exponent. So here we have 2 to the negative 3. So that becomes 1 over 2 to the third and 1/8. Now for some of these, if the exponent gets kind of big, and it doesn't take long to get big, we're going to just leave it in exponential form. But so the 2 to the third is reasonable, so we'll do that one. Next one, x to the negative 4, you rewrite that as 1 over x to the positive 4. And that's it. Whenever you have powers on bases that are the same, you can add the powers. So here, 5 to the second times 5 to the 6th, all you're going to do is add the exponent. So you add them. 2 plus 6 is 8. Here, you have 4, 3, and if you don't see an exponent, the exponent is 1. So that's going to be 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 1 makes 8. So it's y to the 8th. Here, 7 and 6 are just regular numbers, so you just multiply them. 7 times 6 is 42. Y has an exponent of 5, and this has an exponent of 1. 5 plus 1 makes 6, and that's it. Here, multiply to negative 3 and 5, makes it negative 15. X is 2 plus 1 makes 3. Y makes 7 plus 6, 13. That's it. If you have a quotient or a fraction, you subtract the exponent, assuming you have the same base. So here, you have 7 to the 9 over 7 to the 6. So that's going to be 9 minus 6, or 3. And you can work that out, but 7 to the third is kind of big. If you left it like that, that'll be okay. Here, this is 6 minus 1, so it's y to the 5th. 6 minus 1 makes y to the 5th. Here, the 12 and the 18 are not exponents, they're just regular numbers. You reduce it like normal, like 12 over 18. 6 goes into both 12 and 18, so it'll be 2/3. Subtract the exponent. 7 minus 3 is 4, so it's x to the 4th. 5 minus 2 is 3, so it's y to the 3rd. And that's it. It doesn't have to be positive exponents. So here, I'm going to first reduce to 9/15, so it'll be 3/5. And this is negative 2 minus negative 1. Negative 2 minus negative 1 is negative 1. 6 minus negative 3 is 9. So be careful of your signs. Be careful of your signs. Now, you're not allowed to leave a negative exponent. So that x to the negative 1 goes to the denominator and becomes a positive exponent of 1. All right, that's it. Moving on to the back. So whenever you have a power to a power, you're going to multiply the powers. So we're going to multiply 4 and 5, making it x to the 20th. Here, multiply the 5 and the 3, make it 2 to the 15th. And yeah, that's going to be big, so just leave it alone. If you have multiple things inside, you're going to distribute that exponent. So here, you're going to take the 6 and 7, you're going to multiply that. So it'll be x to the 42, and y, multiply the 9 and the 7 to the 63. That's it. if you have a coefficient, you're going to apply it as an exponent. So the outside exponent of 2 gets applied to 3 as an exponent. 4 times 2, you actually multiply that out. 3 squared is very reasonable, so just do 9x to the 8th. Final answer. All right, here we go. We're going to apply this outside exponent of negative 2. We're going to distribute it to each part, so it's 7 to the negative 2. So that's going to be x to the negative 2 and y, but this time here there's an exponent on y, so it's negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Let's deal with the negative exponents. You have 2 of them. So you're going to have y to the 4 in the numerator, and then the other 2 go to the denominator, 7 squared x squared. And you could go ahead and work out the 7 squared. So it'll be y to the 4 over 49x squared. Okay, all right, continuing. We're almost done. 6, so you're going to distribute this negative 2 onto all the pieces. So 6 to the negative 2. Negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. Negative 7 times negative 2 is, whoa, that was x to the positive 12, y to the positive 14. Sorry about that. So I still have a negative exponent, so I have to deal with that. So that's going to be x to the 12th, y to the 14th over 6 squared. But you know what 6 squared is. So let's make that a 36. Oh, so you might ask, well, what happened to the z? Well, z had a 0 on it. So it's essentially gone. Right? Z to the 0 is 1, so 1 doesn't really do anything. So I left it off. All right, so yeah. It's not that I ignored it. Well, I guess I did ignore it, because it's z to the 0. Z to the 0 is 1. You can't do much with 1. All right, that's it. A to the m over, so now if you have a quotient, you're still going to apply it like you did up there, where we had a product and we had an exponent, right? We had a product with an exponent, you distributed the exponent. Same thing here, we want to distribute that exponent. So it's 3 squared over 5 squared, which is just 9 over 25. And that's it. Next one. So I'm going to distribute the 2, so it's 2 squared a. This time multiply the exponent, so it's 10, right? 5 times 2 is 10. And b, 7 times 2 is 14. The only thing to do is go ahead and take that 2 squared. And that's it. That's that answer. Next one. Distribute the 3 again. So it's 3 to the 3rd. A to the negative 12, because I'm doing negative 4 times 3. And b to the 21. 7 times 3 is 21. I have a negative exponent and a reasonable power. 3 to the 3rd is 27. I have a to the negative 12, that goes to the denominator. B to the positive 21 doesn't go anywhere, it just stays in the denominator. Finally, this video seems to take forever. Alright, distribute that exponent. That's going to be a to the positive 12. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Negative 5 times negative 6 is positive 30. C, 11 times negative 6 is negative 66. Nothing happens to the A and the B because they have positive exponents, but C has a negative exponent, so I'm going to move it to the numerator and make it positive. And that's the final answer and the end of notes for Wednesday, March 20-something. Okay, bye-bye.